The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Morning Market Kickoff with your host, Tommy O'Brien. Now, Tommy O'Brien.
Welcome, everyone. This is Jacob Shoup filling in for Tommy O'Brien. This is the Morning Market Kickoff. I hope you all are having a good morning thus far. We're about 24 minutes from the open. Before I dive into anything regarding the market, I want to do some housekeeping real quick. As you all know, Larry has launched live trading Fridays. Okay, so the first one happened on the 12th of April, and the last one for this month is happening this Friday. In this whole package, this is a monthly subscription. All right, you'll subscribe to it. For this month only, you can use the code LarryLive. That gets you $50 off your subscription for as long as you subscribe. However, that code can only be applied this month. Essentially, get in there. It's 9 a.m. to noon Eastern time. It's right in the den. And you just watch Larry plays hypothetical trades, and you kind of do what you want with that. But it's a very cool time. We had a nice turnout, the inaugural session. So come check that out. And again, this month only, you can use code LarryLive to receive $50 off your subscription for as long as you subscribe. All right. Had some gum. All right, let's take a look at what we got going on. You're pre-market right now, so not much is really happening. But you have the ES Mini trading at 5,110, so a nice pop-up Monday and the day before, especially after a minor sell-off the week prior. So this is good. We still have some way to traverse back to the all-time highs. So it remains to be seen. You know, this is only Wednesday. We could get a consolidation period. Just be interesting to see what happens. Of course, just kind of sideways before the open. The Russell at 2,007. The NQ's up slightly, 0.54% as it is right now at 17,703. And the Dow futures well above that 37,900 area. We're at 38,672. The gold contract, I believe, trying to kind of figure out what to do after this pretty impressive run-up that it's had. Of course, you had a big leg down. What's interesting to note is, besides for the one-off miners who just had bad financials or bad earnings reports, a lot of the miners haven't really gotten pressed as hard, especially with this big leg down, which is a positive, I think, for the whole market as well. If you've been listening to Tom and Tim Ord, you know, the conversation is that you have the spot price run up for some period, and then the gold miners kind of follow. We're still in that period waiting for the gold miners, I think, really to take off in a major way. We've seen some stellar examples, such as Harmony, really get some good footing. But as a segment as a whole, still waiting on it. And even with this leg down, we haven't seen too much destruction in the miners. So I think that's a positive sign looking forward for gold. You have that dollar down as well below that 106 level, which is fantastic, at 105.87. Steel Dynamics trading at 137.13, up 2.21. That is a pretty, this is all in low volume too. So we're testing this last day with volume probably, right? And we'll see if we can reject today. If we can, that'd be cool. However, you did have Nucor come out in their first, give me a second here. Their first quarter wasn't super stellar. Let me see, I think the ticker is, am I right? No, give me a second to get that ticker on it. I'll mainly look at Steel Dynamics. But you do get, okay, right, of course. It's been so long since I looked at Nucor. But for a while, you had some equal movement with Nucor and Steel Dynamics, just because it's in the steel area. So you can see kind of making the same pattern as Steel Dynamics, and then on bad financials, bad earnings, you really had a pretty strong gap down on high volume. So we can take a look here. Nucor announced consolidated net earnings attributable to Nucor stockholders of $844 million, or $3.46 per diluted share for the first quarter of 2024. By comparison, Nucor reported consolidated net earnings attributed to Nucor stockholders of about $3.16 per diluted share the fourth quarter of 2023 and $4.45 the first quarter of 2023. You see some improvement from quarter to quarter, but year over year, not an improvement. Nucor performance continues to be strong, even as steel market conditions have come off their post-pandemic record highs. Broaden their capabilities, rapidly growing data center market, and now its partnership to supply our customers with low carbon steel and accelerate. And really, it's a weak outlook for the company. Of course, you know, when you're reading the financial report from the company itself, you get some more dovish outlooks, but as it stands, people didn't like the quarter-to-quarter increase, and there is some conversation of how strong steel is going to be going forward as well. So Nucor today, trading at $176.20. It's actually crazy to see that gap closing price-wise between Nucor and Steel Dynamics, because really Steel Dynamics was acting, essentially like the small brother of Nucor, but we're actually closing that gap, right, at 176 with Nucor and about 137 with Steel Dynamics. You know, one of the things I was thinking about, and, I'm going to go over the market and, like, reports and everything. Obviously, we had Tesla come out, some stuff with Kering regarding Gucci, especially Gucci compared to brands like Prada in China. Prada and these different luxury brands are killing Gucci. Gucci has, I think, an image problem, especially in the West. We'll talk about that. One of the things I want to speak about is you had the Biden administration. They pumped out, we have multiple things, right? So it's announcing plans to drive up 12 leases for offshore wind energy. You have about $11 billion extra dollars going in to manufacture chips. And so what's going on? And I was thinking about this last night, and this is kind of what I want to talk about for a little bit. This energy pivot is no longer going to be about green energy, right? And what I mean by that is the impetus for investing in alternative energy is not going to be for saving the climate in some ways. It is going to do that in some capacity, but you're seeing this real big transition now into AI. You have Microsoft and Google and Amazon even talking about producing these massive multi-acre buildings that are just essentially going to be a singular AI, right? Like they're just stacking neurons in a sense, right? And this is going to be huge. One of the major problems that they're running into, and it's something interesting to think about, like what is our limit as a society? And it's really like, what is the cost of energy, right? Like you just, as a basic unit, like you need energy in order to produce something else. And with the energy output we have now, with fossil fuels, we don't have the energy. And so, we're going to go to this renewable stuff. I'm sus on wind and solar to some extent. But what I see happening, and we'll probably talk about this in the next 3 or 5 years, is really going to be a pivot into nuclear. I'll finish my thought on this. It's just a really short thought after this at the beginning of the next segment, so stay tuned. We'll be right back.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den, hosted at Discord. TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
This portion of the morning market kickoff is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Superior knowledge on technology, because I just realized I wasn't sharing my chart in the den. Man. All right, what I was talking about before the last break, I think in reality, what's going to happen is this AI is ramping up. We're spending more money on chips. This is going to be a massive source of GDP for us, but also it's really like a new Cold War in reality. There was this game that was popular when I was like maybe 13 or something like that, and you had to manage your kingdom, right? And in the kingdom, like each person who played and had this had like a dragon, right? And you'd have to spend points to increase this dragon, and this would be your major, way you'd battle with other people or something like that, right? And to me, this is what AI genuinely is going to be, right? You're going to have AI, of course. I've spoken ad nauseum about personalized AI. Like everyone will have a personal AI. It'll be this little sapling, and it'll start learning and growing who you are and making good decisions for you, but it's going to go to a business level, which again I've spoken about, and then really the national level. And this is going to determine how effective a country is going to be in the rest of the century and probably beyond. And the way, that you can increase your AI essentially, right, and capabilities and such like that is going to be dependent on what your energy output is. And we have oil. America has the most oil. It's insane, right? And so we can rely on that to a certain extent. But really the question then becomes like, is this the most prudent way to achieve these ends? And I think it's not. I think also you're going to continue to have this push for green energy. And this is really where we're going to get nuclear coming in, right? So I think within the next 5 years, there'll be a serious discussion of actually getting in to nuclear. I think uranium is going to take off from this because uranium is still the most dominant fuel And anyways, yeah, that's kind of my point. I keep seeing every day more stuff on increasing chips, more stuff on increasing renewable energy. I know nuclear isn't renewable, but for as long as humans, our lifespan and you know, whatever, uranium works, is what I'm trying to say, right? You have just so much energy that can be extracted from that it's kind of not a big deal. Anyways, going forward, kind of on this topic with AI, you have Cisco Systems, Microsoft, and IBM for some reason joined the Vatican in pledging ethical use and development of AI, and I don't even know what that legitimately means. Meaning, you know, what is going to be considered ethical use and development of AI? You know, speaks about it a little bit, basically in like serving humans, not seeking to, you know, essentially is going to be a utilitarian approach. And if you've ever taken an ethics class, that has all of its issues as well. But tech giant Cisco on Wednesday joined Microsoft and IBM in signing onto a Vatican-sponsored pledge to ensure artificial intelligence is developed and used ethically to benefit the common good. So there's that utilitarian kind of position on it. Chief Executive Chuck Robbins signed the document known as the Rome Call and met privately with Pope Francis. This is such a weird timeline, man. The pledge outlines key pillars of ethical and responsible use of AI. It emphasizes that the AI systems must be designed, used, and regulated to serve and protect the dignity of all human beings without discrimination and their environments. It highlights principles of transparency, inclusion, responsibility, impartiality, and security as necessary to guide all AI developments. That's super interesting to see how that goes on. The Vatican has a bunch of weird stuff. They have like a huge observatory as well. They have a lot of money invested in like astronomy and stuff. Anyways, interesting to say the least. Let's talk about Tesla. So Tesla's up 11% right now, pretty nuts. Especially from, I mean, we're still so low from its highs, and so we're trading at 160.50. So let's talk a little bit about what happened with Tesla. Profit down 48%, revenue drops 9%. This was yesterday after the close. Tesla earned $1.13 billion or 34 cents a share in the first quarter, compared with $2.2 billion or 73 cents a share. Adjusted for one-time items, the EV maker earned 45 cents a share. Revenue dropped to $21.3 billion in the quarter. Future is not only electric, but autonomous, Tesla said in a letter to shareholders. We believe scaled autonomy is only possible with data from millions of vehicles and immense AI trading cluster. And if you've been sticking with us here, that is what we've been talking about, is the real future for Tesla is that data they have and the way that they process that data. Super, super important. I want to get some more facts for you on this that I had written down, but give me 1 second to find it. And here we are. All right. So they're cutting costs. This is going to be huge. This is how they're going to compete as well. Musk said new models would likely launch sooner than late 2025. The data when Tesla previously said the cheaper alternative to its current vehicles would be available. It's not contingent on any new factory or massive new production line. It'll be made on our current production lines much more efficiently. Curious to see what the quality of that is going to be. Tesla's start to the year was worse than expected. Earnings fell 55% in the first quarter. Quarterly sales declined on an annual basis for the first time in nearly 4 years. Musk cited several unforeseen challenges as well as a global pressure on EV sales. He said that the company's drop in China was less than its competitors, which is positive for the company. Cybercab. Okay, let's talk about this. Musk unnerved some investors when he recently announced plans to unveil a robo-taxi in August. On Tuesday, he underscored the company's commitment to make fully autonomous cars work. And this is what's crazy about Musk. Like, in the current interest rate structure we have, you have a lot of companies, not even just the interest rate structure, but the EV market structure. You have a lot of companies becoming far more conservative in what they're choosing to invest in. And here we're really seeing what Musk is like, which is like, no, we're just going to continue to do these, you know, we're pushing, I would say, the envelope on what society should be like or what people should consume, right? So this robo-taxi thing, you're seeing a lot of people cut down on this, different car companies. GM has kind of restructured the way they're investing in theirs. just because cash is more expensive, right? And this is a massive risk he's taking, right? So we'll talk a little bit about this. On Tuesday, he underscored the company's commitment to making full autonomous cars work. If somebody doesn't believe Tesla is going to solve autonomy, I think they should not be an investor in the company. Tesla could launch a share buyback, okay? Musk said when asked if he had a mechanism in mind for achieving his targeted 25% voting control for the company. If the company generates a lot of positive cash flow, this is a quote, we can obviously buy back shares. He currently holds about 13%. So let's see. Uber competitor, this is what I mean. Like, it just gets like, if you're just kind of a standard investor and you're not like on the Musk Kool-Aid, like this stuff is a little bit off-putting, right? Because we don't know when these interest rate structures are coming down. Stuff's expensive. You have other people acting more conservatively in this environment. And he's saying like, no, actually, we're just gonna continue doing what we're doing. We're gonna somehow change our production, make it cheaper, and then invest in a robo-taxi and compete with Uber. Like, whoa, man. Folks, stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Tigers, the inaugural session of Live Trading Fridays with Larry Pesavento was a massive success. Trades were communicated, questions were answered, and money was made. Every second and fourth Friday of the month, from 9 a.m. to noon Eastern Time, Larry wants you to join him as he places live trades and takes your questions. That's right, with this monthly subscription, you receive access to 2 live trading events. We are gearing up for the next session Friday, April 26th, so there's still time to sign up. For this month only, use code LarryLive at checkout in order to secure $50 off your monthly subscription price for as long as you subscribe to the service. We'll see you next Friday, April 26th, Tigers. TFNN, educating investors.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstad's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstad releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
The stock market is a delicate, interconnecting web of commodities, equities, and trader psychology. When one string of the web is pulled, it has a ripple effect across the broader market. This is where opportunity lies. But how are you to gather all of this information into one cohesive model when you're already spending your energy looking for any possible trade opportunities? Luckily, you don't have to worry about that, as Tom O'Brien has brought all important market news to you in one single newsletter, Market Insights. Market Insights provides a daily overview of what's happening in the indexes, bonds, gold, and more. Follow along with Tom daily as he analyzes the components that affect the overall movement of the stock market, giving insight into how each one plays either a bullish or bearish role. Tom also analyzes specific equities that he believes has the potential to make huge returns, and his track record proves his analysis right. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Don't let the market leave you in the dust.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, folks. Jacob Shoup filling in for Tommy O'Brien. This is the morning market kickoff. I just got that cortisol-inducing ring from Thinkorswim, which means that the market is open. Let's take a look at what we got going on right now. The ES Mini up about 0.23%. The Russell sideways. The NQs up about 0.76%. And the Dow futures are sideways as well. Gold trading at $2,333. Silver at 27.27, and then copper still holding its place up there at 4.46. Love seeing that. Crude oil inching a little bit higher. The headlines for that were the Middle East conflict, but then the headlines for when it was going down was also the Middle East conflict. And in reality, this is just kind of normal price movement, I think. Of course, you had things going on with Venezuela as well, and Mexico decreasing output, at least their exports of oil. Regardless, we're trading right under $83 in light sweet crude. So we could, in theory, move back up to that, let's see, what was that? They're about 87.67, but remains to be seen because we are down 0.53% right now. Tesla, of course, we're talking about it. Ooh, up 13% right now, ripping. Some lower volume, but of course we just opened, so we'll see what that does throughout the rest of the day. People love that stock. Geez, Steel Dynamics, what a move. At 142.77, we were looking at it about what 133 or something at the oh, wow, 5.87% right now. Let's see what Nucor is doing after that less than stellar outlook for them. Okay, still positive, but you know, still high volume on that gap down. So that's something that it needs to compete with going forward throughout the rest of the week here, I would say. Let's see, anything else interesting? Apple, 166. Okay, nothing too interesting besides those. That's pretty neat, though. Humana, moving up. Kind of just a weird consolidation period on low volume. Yeah, all right, cool. Let's talk about some interesting news that came out. This is from the FTC. I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard about this, but it's for people who don't or haven't. The FTC Commission actually voted Tuesday to ban nearly all non-competes, employment agreements that typically prevent workers from joining competing businesses or launching ones of their own. The FTC received more than 26,000 public comments in the months leading up to the vote. Chair Alina Khan referenced on Tuesday some of the stories she had heard from employees who have been, who because of non-competes were stuck in abusive workplaces. This is valid, and I think also it just stops competition. These accounts said they pointed to basic reality of how robbing people of their economic liberty also robs them of all sorts of freedoms. Okay, there's that more humanistic approach. But they also determined, so let's see here. They determined it had an economic impact. The FTC estimates about 30 million people, or 1 in 5 American workers, from minimum wage earners to CEOs, are bound by non-competes. Imagine being on minimum wage and having a non-compete. It says the policy change could lead to increased wages totaling nearly $300 billion per year by encouraging people to swap jobs freely. Quite interesting. Some other small news as well is the current administration issued new rules for airlines to require automatic cash refunds and prohibit surprise fees, which is pretty neat. The administration on Wednesday unveiled 2 new rules that directly affect the Americans who will fly commercially every year. The first rule requires airlines to be more transparent about extra fees. The second rule requires airlines to issue cash refunds automatically rather than in response to customer requests. That's pretty nice. All right, let's look at something be a little bit more pressing for people who are investing. Of course, the halving happened, so it's like, what are we going to do with that? So the SEC has actually, you had a Franklin Templeton, I think Grayscale, try to push Ethereum ETFs, and the SEC is delaying the decision on that, right? So let's take a look a little bit on that. The SEC is delaying making decisions on the next step for 2 proposed spot Ethereum exchange-traded funds proposed by Grayscale and Franklin Templeton. The agency pushed its timeline to decide June of this year for the Franklin Ethereum ETF, after which the SEC could approve or disapprove other institute proceedings. The Commission finds it appropriate to designate a longer period within which to take action on the proposed rule so that it is sufficient time to consider the proposed rule change and the issues raised therein. And I actually believe that Ethereum is the better option for a lot of people. So big name firms, including Fidelity and BlackRock, have obviously applied to spot Ether ETFs over the last few months. Optimism for approving such a product has steadily fallen over the past few months. Bloomberg ETF analyst Eric Balkunis has lowered his estimates of the chances of a spot Ethereum ETF approval by May from about 70% to 25%. Not really sure how you quantify that. Since being listed in 2024, the Bitcoin ETFs have a cumulative total net inflow of $12.38 billion. some interesting stuff within crypto news as well is Tether, okay? So Tether creates a USDT, which is a one-to-one peg to the US dollar. It's a stable coin is what this is called. So Tether has announced its plan to actually freeze any wallets that use its currency to bypass US sanctions on Venezuelan oil exports. This is like, I have a lot of feelings towards this. It's super interesting. You know, one, when you're Tether and you're trying to validate your stable coin, right, which could be the launching point for a number of other kind of cryptos, or I say cryptos, but like e-currencies, right? Whether you're in business or it's in government or whatever, right? Even if you're trying to promote your blockchain, you want to do things that don't get you on the naughty list from the U.S. government, which I can't blame them for. But then as well, you are now competing with a bunch of these more politically minded people, I would suppose, who see crypto as a way to kind of skirt maybe what they would consider an overreaching behavior or policy by the U.S. government, right, in order to defend their hegemony, right, which I think some people in the crypto sphere, that's the position they're from, right? And so this is Tether really saying, like, no, listen, we're not here for you guys like that. It doesn't matter how long you've been invested in USDT or the Tether. We're here to make ourselves more valid on the traditional scale, right? They don't want to get targeted by the U.S. government. They want to be adopted by general enterprise, which is super interesting. It's doubly interesting from this because Venezuela's oil company has actually been turning to Tether specifically to evade these sanctions, which is super nuts. PDVSA started using USDT last year to avoid the risk associated with cash transactions, which are vulnerable to being seized by the U.S. and international bank accounts. I don't know how this affects Tether, right? Do you have this kind of third world, and I mean that not like in the economic sense, but just like beyond the Western hegemony and beyond this new developing one with Russia and China, this kind of third world, do they now not involve themselves with Tether because of the fear of having all of their assets frozen? It's a major thing to consider on this. The broader context includes OFAC's growing attention to the crypto sector. In 2023, the agency froze an Ethereum wallet linked to the Mexican Sinaloa cartel, which managed a money laundering operation facilitating fentanyl sales. Whoa. Folks, stay tuned. We'll be right back. I believe we have Teddy Keckstadt on.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Welcome back, folks. Jacob Shoup filling in for Tommy O'Brien. I believe we have Teddy Keckstadt in the dojo. Teddy, are you there?
I am here.
How are you doing, Teddy? I'm interested to see what you have for us. You know, we have crude oil inching just slightly higher. Of course, last time you and I spoke, we were much higher, but maybe around $86 for the contract. You have bonds down in price a little bit. Just interested to see what you're looking at today.
Sure. Well, obviously, crude's down a little bit right now. You know, last Friday we had a really volatile trade in crude oil with a really erroneous spike. I don't know if it was just algos or what exactly that really propelled that, spike high before the weekend close. Now we've had a nice bounce off the low that we set on, Monday. And I think right now we're just kind of digesting. The overall trend is definitely a bull. I like the fact that we kind of digested over the last week and a half. This is a nice correction here. I think that the slope of the trend was too steep 2 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. Now it's evened out, and I think we're pretty much on track to make a run for new highs, and I think we could probably get as high as 91 to 91.5 area over the next. Now, I'm not saying over the next couple of days or sessions, but I would say that probably by the middle of May, it's pretty reasonable that we should be trading in the lower 90 area. Right on, absolutely. And I think you have this. I think the world on a fundamental level, I think the world is still trying to figure out where things are going to shake out. Right? You have things going on with the Venezuelan embargo. You have Mexico decreasing the amount that they're going to export, and then conflict is still continuing in the Middle East for the foreseeable future. You have Ukraine hitting massive Russian refineries. I didn't speak on yesterday. I wanted to get to it, but how the Russians get that out and how that affects the price of oil globally as well. So it'll be interesting to see kind of what happens. What are you looking at regarding currency pairings, if anything at all? Of course, you have the dollar coming down a little bit at 105.79. Mm-hmm. We're up a little bit this session, but this is down from the general 107, 106 area we've been seeing the past few sessions. Okay, well, the Tiger Forex report, we had a buy signal in the euro that was triggered last week, and we're still riding that trade right now. Right now, we're above the entry price, which was at $1.0672. We're trading at $1.680. We were trading above 107 yesterday. This week, there was a chance to buy the price at a better price than our entry price, and if anyone did get in there, the reward to risk ratio is definitely higher. I think that we can hit our first bullish target, which is right around 107.49, with the extreme being 107.93. I think once you get to that first target level, if you're already long, it'll be time to raise your stops and be ready for a sharp pullback, especially with the way the 10-year and the 30-year are trading right now. So, but I think, right now over the next probably a few sessions into next week, we could get into that area. And then I would say that's probably where you're going to start to see a little bit of trouble for the euro. Overall, the euro is in a big wide range trade, so I don't expect a lot of trending or major swing trades. But if you do want to have some action with that, we can take a look at some of the lesser big pairs like the Canada, the Aussie, and stuff like that, because there's some moves going on there. The yen is just hovering below its highs. It's going to be really hard to play it to the long side or look for any really big jump, not unless there's a bit. If oil rallies again and yields go up, yeah, we can definitely see the U.S. dollar yen go up maybe up to the 155, 156 area. But unless we have a major push in either of those markets, and I don't think that's going to happen yet for another week or so. But if you want to look at the U.S. dollar Canada real quick, I can give you some levels there. The low that we set this morning, which was just a little bit off of a little bit lower than yesterday's low, came into a nice support area. I think that you're probably going to find a basing there. So I would be look to be in the buy break scenario for the U.S. dollar Canada, somewhere in this $1.36 to $1.36, $1.36 half to $1.36.25. Right now it's at 37 even. So if it bobbles around this area, the low may already be in. I don't want to try and pick a bottom or anything like that. We got to see how the trading goes through this week. And the other thing is we don't have any numbers this week. The only thing we have is unemployment claims. The only real big number was the EU consumer confidence number on Monday at 9 o'clock, and since then there's nothing. So unless unemployment claims, which were probably going to be a little bit lower, come out drastically different than expectations, we're set up for sideways going into next week. So I wouldn't expect any big follow through. Once again, I think you have a nice bounce here for the U.S. dollar Canada short term. And let's see, NZD, USD, New Zealand. That hit some nice support a few sessions back. I think it's got a good chance of it's a sell rally forecast. I think you have a little bit more to the upside. And another reason I go with that one is because of the Australian dollar, US dollar. It spiked up into some key resistance today. I think you can probably see it try and test those highs one more time over the next few sessions. And then it could be where it just starts to digest a little bit, and then it'll probably start to fall back on support again. So for swing trades, I think you have some potential in those markets. I'd be really careful with the euro as far as follow through. And I can give you the pound real quick. Sure. One last scenario there. We set a nice low 2 days ago. I think that's a nice lower low. I think it's still a sell rally forecast. I'd be careful. I'd wait for it to get probably up to the 125 to almost 126 even area before you start to sell it, just because otherwise you can get caught in the chop zone.
Absolutely. Yeah, and folks, again, if you go to TFNN.com, we have it over in newsletters here. This is the Tiger Forex Report by Teddy Keckstadt. He releases this every Monday, release it before the open, and the insights are just awesome. And Teddy, I said it last time.
Thank you.
I'll give you a call after this, but we need to figure out something with a webinar or something for you, because the one you had done last year was super solid. And guys, you can always go to our services, and we have all of our more recent webinars archived, including Teddy's. So
well, we are working on it. We're gonna have a live trading event coming up in sometime in the next month or so.
Love it. Yeah, can't wait for that. Can't wait for that at all. Teddy, thank you so much for joining us. That was insightful as always, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. We'll talk to you to Monday, I guess, right?
You're welcome, Jacob. So, take care.
Take care now, Teddy. Again, guys, yeah, you go to TFNN.com. You land on home. Just go to newsletter. I love reading this one. It's nice. I'm not going to show it to you, because you have to be a subscriber to look at all of it. But really, the way that it's structured, I mean, it's so clear. It's so clear. It's insightful. You get your charts, you get the observation, and then hypothetical moves for it. I think it's really neat. Anyways, let's move on. We have a short segment going on right now. Just about a minute and some change left. Give me a second here. What did I want to talk about? I had this in my head. I swear, you get older. I mean, I'm only 27, but just the difference of the working memory is it's pretty insane, actually. Give me one moment here. This is okay. Right. Of course, duh. Boeing. Okay, up 180. So surprisingly, they beat earnings, and by beating earnings, again, they just didn't do as horrible as people expected them to do. So the reporter on Wednesday reported, Boeing on Wednesday reported earnings that beat Wall Street expectations. They reported the first quarter core or adjusted loss per share of $113 versus $172 on revenue of $16.5 billion, which was above forecast of $16.25. So that's $16.57 versus $16.25, but it was an 8% decline year over year. Folks, stay tuned. We'll be right back. We have a short segment after this.
The Gold Report. As a precious metal, gold is still king. It continues to hold the most effective safe haven and hedging properties across the global major trading hubs of the London OTC market, the U.S. futures market, and the Shanghai Gold Exchange. The Gold Report. Tom O'Brien publishes his weekly gold report every Monday morning for subscribers, consisting of coverage of the XAU, HUI, GDX, the dollar, bonds, the South African rand, as well as 25 different mining equities with specific buy-sell recommendations. The Gold Report. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee so you have nothing to risk. Subscribe to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report newsletter now at TFNN.com.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter, a must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, folks. Jacob Shoup filling in for Tommy O'Brien. This is the morning market kickoff. We have a small segment here. I'll just talk a little bit going forward. Some interesting news here. The U.S. prosecutors are seeking a 36-month sentence for ex-Binance CEO Changpeng Zhao, or CZ as he's better known. Custodial sentence of 36 months, twice the high end of the guidelines in the range. Pretty crazy. Binance has separately been sued by U.S. SEC and the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, so CFTC, over the alleged mishandling customer assets and the operation of an illegal, unregistered exchange in the U.S. Nuts. And then the Biden makes an $11 billion push to beat China at chip research. I think this will be pretty huge for the country going forward. And then I wanted to get you a PepsiCo number, if I can find it. But PepsiCo did a lot better because they're increasing international demand and higher prices as well are hitting them. Consumers across Europe Pacific Asia. Let me get Pepsi for you up here on it. So we're down a little bit right now. This is some pretty wild movement. PepsiCo beat Wall Street expectations for first quarter revenue and profit on Tuesday as demand for its sodas and snacks like Cheetos and Doritos. And international markets drove growth even as it witnessed a slowdown in the United States. 3 years of massive consumer inflation that has to be absorbed, and I think the cumulative impact of that put a bit of a strain on the consumer. That's the PepsiCo CFO. The company's average price jumped 5% in the first quarter. Its organic volume slipped 2% compared to 4% drop seen in the fourth quarter. And of course, we spoke about this, I believe, about 4 months ago, saying that Pepsi might have some better financials because of its expansion into Europe. Some interesting just news to finish off the day. Is not anything to do with the market, but it's just for personal edification. If I can get this over, some strange winds were blowing Saharan dust over Athens, and now it looks like a Hollywood movie that takes place in the east. This is super neat. One of the curious things is that the Amazon rainforest is actually fertilized by winds from the Sahara because there are skeletons and fossils of fish when it used to be an ocean, and they have essentially fertilizer in their bones. Pretty interesting stuff. Folks, thank you so much for joining me. Have a great rest of your day.